Wow. Turn that down a little bit. Hey, kids, I'm just going to wing it. I mean, I got all kinds of crap here I can talk about, but I'm just going to spew. If that's even a good word to use. What is the date today for me? I just woke up. It is June 13th here in Japan. We're not allowed to go anywhere. I mean, you can go some places, but not the fun places. Hi, everybody. Kash here, and I hope you're having a good Saturday night. For those of you that I am friends with, which is everybody, you're probably drinking booze. Me, on the other hand, I'm having coffee. That's what I drink. Because if I'm drinking booze at 9 o'clock in the morning, then I need to go get some help. Hey, behind me is the American flag, and yes, tomorrow is Flag Day. For you, it'll be on Monday. But tomorrow it is Monday for me, so it is Flag Day, and I display the colors. I love the colors. I love everything it stands for. Whether you agree, disagree, we do live in a country where you can say pretty much whatever you want. Now, at least. Mara Gay, though, who writes for the New York Times, well, she doesn't feel that way.
Disturbed. I saw, dozens and dozens of pickup trucks with, explicatives against Joe Biden
like they did Trump.
On the back of them, Trump flags,
Whoa.
And some cases just dozens of American flags, which, is also just disturbing because essentially the message was clear. It was, this is my country. This is not your country.
All right, look, man. You can display. I encourage you to display the flag. In fact, I want you to. Please do. Doesn't mean that you hate the country. If you want to display the flag, display the flag. You're supposed to. But she's not that smart, though. This is the same woman, her and Brian Williams, who don't know basic math.
Absolutely. Somebody tweeted recently that actually with the money he spent, he could have given every American $1 million.
I've got it. $1 million.
A lot of money.
When I read it tonight on social media, it kind of all became clear. Bloomberg spent $500 million on ads. U.S. population 327 million. Don't tell us if you're ahead of us on the math. He could have given each American $1 million.
$1 million.
I need about $350.
Actually, that's what you would have probably got. $350. Actually, it was like $1.27. But by all means, display the flag. What happened to you, CNN? You were beautiful. One time you were beautiful, CNN. What happened? CNN one time had this guy, Bernard Shaw. He was a badass. We didn't know about it then, but he was a badass. That's Bernard Shaw during the presidential debate in 1988. And boy, he asked a hard-hitting question to the Democratic candidate, Michael Dukakis, about the death penalty. And it pretty much sunk Dukakis right there. He lost big. But Bernard Shaw wasn't afraid to go there. Because that's what CNN says. We go there. No, they don't. This guy was also bombed in Baghdad, and he called on the phone to call it in. And also watched him grill Yasser Arafat over the whereabouts of a CBS reporter named Bob Simon. You guys remember that during Desert Shield, Desert Storm? Bernard Shaw was a badass. But this is what they have today. That's what they have today. Jeffrey Toobin. And if you don't know who that guy is, he's their senior legal analyst. And he's kind of a sexual deviant. And you'll see right here.
Let's bring in CNN chief legal analyst Jeffrey Toobin to talk about this and more.
Not suitable for work.
Hello, Allison.
It's been a while.
It has been a while, indeed.
I feel like we should address what's happened in the months since we've seen you, since some of our viewers may not know what has happened. So
here it goes.
I guess I'll recap. I'll do the honors.
Here we go.
Help yourself.
Okay. In October, you were on a Zoom call with your colleagues from the New Yorker magazine. Everyone took a break for several minutes, during which time you were caught masturbating on camera. You were subsequently fired from that job after 27 years of working there. And you, since then, have been on leave from CNN. Do I have all that right?
You got it all right. Sad to say.
Okay, so let's start there.
Okay.
To quote Jay Leno, what the hell were you thinking?
Well, obviously, I wasn't thinking very well or very much, and it was something that was inexplicable to me. I think one point, I wouldn't exactly say in my defense, because nothing is really in my defense. I didn't think I was on the call.
Let me tell you something. When you're in front of a microphone or you're in front of a camera, you better assume that it's always on. I was taught that a long time ago. If it's on, then assume that it's on. What kind of a Zoom meeting was he in? However, CNN wanted him back. The anchors wanted him back because he was very friendly to what they were trying to push. For an example, the guy on the left there, Chris Cuomo, was actually caught having calls with his brother Andrew's legal team to help him get out of his freaking sexual deviancy with the interns and women that worked with him that he treated like his own freaking personal porn hub. The guy on the right, Rick Santorum, he was fired because he'd had a gaffe. I really wasn't a gaffe. Talked about the United States and how we came to this country. Yeah, and he says, yeah. And then he even acknowledged that, yeah, we shouldn't have done what we did to the Native Americans, but it happened. And, yeah, and he apologized. But that's out. He's out. I'm guessing if he'd have pulled his pants down around his ankles and touched himself inappropriately, he'd still have a job. But since he's a Republican, CNN can't do it. They were beautiful once. They were beautiful. What happened? Coffee again. And right now, CNN is not even really covering the border crisis, that thing right there, because it's no longer a hot topic obviously for Democrats. It is for America, and it is coming up a lot. This is President Trump. Remember when he was running for president in 2020? This is President Trump when he was talking about the immigration.
Now, Republicans and Democrats must join forces again.
That's booze in there, by the way, next to Nancy.
To confront an urgent national crisis.
Oh, she looks drunk off her ass.
Congress has 10 days left to pass a bill
that will
fund our government, protect our homeland, and secure our very dangerous southern border.
Yeah.
Now is the time for Congress to show the world that America is committed to ending illegal immigration and putting the ruthless coyotes, cartels, drug dealers, and human traffickers out of business.
Look, Schumer looked mad. Obviously, the Democratic portion of it was, hey, what you're doing on the border is wrong. We don't want to tell people not to go home. We want to welcome them with open arms. Tear down that wall. There's other ways of doing it. But here, Joe Biden's saying this.
Yes, I can say quite clearly, don't come. And what we're in the process of getting set up, don't leave your town or city or community.
In an interview with ABC News, the president pushing back on criticism migrants are crossing in such large numbers because he has reversed several Trump-era immigration policies.
The idea that Joe Biden said come, because I heard the other day that they're coming because they know I'm a nice guy. Well, here's the deal. They're not.
The president has halted construction of his predecessor's border wall.
Seems like that border wall might have worked. Kamala Harris, same thing. Bad week for her. Bad week for her. But, hey, remember, in 2019, she said the same thing.
But what does this president do? He virtually looks at those children and says, go back to where you came from. What do we have in this president? A policy that was about taking children, separating them from their parents.
Kind of doing it now.
And calling it border security. No, that was a human rights abuse being committed by the United States government, and it is against the morals and the values of who we are as a nation.
That's what they were running on. You guys remember that? That's what the ticket was running on. Kamala Harris in Guatemala, which is not exactly a fun place to be at, but Kamala Harris telling Guatemala.
I want to be clear
looking a little old there,
folks in this region who are thinking about making that dangerous trek to the United States-Mexico border. Do not come. Do not come. The United States will continue to enforce our laws and secure our border.
No shit. Really? God. That's exactly, I'm telling you. Talk about a 180. She was right, telling him, don't come. I'm pretty sure she said that before. Yeah, I went there. But it wasn't over there.
Can you commit right now that you will indeed visit the U.S.-Mexico border?
Laugh.
Or will you do it soon?
Make sure you laugh.
Jeremy, let me tell you something. Yes, I will, and I have before. Listen, anybody, especially if you're from California, you know, I've spent a lot of time on the border, and both going there physically.
I think they were talking about when Joe Biden put you in charge of immigration. You kind of want to see what the border looks like, not California. And not when Trump was in charge, because he was taking care of business. Maybe it'll go away. I hope you don't get snippy about it.
And
when are you going to the border, Vice President?
The administration has asked.
Latinas.
I'm not finished. I've said I'm going to the border.
So when are you going to the border? Maybe NBC will lob you some softballs.
We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I don't understand the point that you're making. I'm not discounting the importance of the border.
Well, the last time we had a border crisis with Europe was the Great Irish Potato Famine back in the 1800s. How about that, huh?
And I haven't been to Europe.
Laugh! Oh, looky. Hey, laddie. Look at there, lass. Or is that Scottish? You know what? More laughing. That's how you get out of it, Kamala. Laugh. That takes care of everything. Let's keep it. Let's update it.
You said.
Not cold-blooded, but that's what she does when she gets nervous. Hey. I haven't been to Europe either. Maybe that dude was onto something. Democrats know that too. They know it. They know it. All right, switching gears as I check my phone here. It's still 0-0 on my phone, but let me tell you something. Switching gears to baseball. Did not see the Giants playing meaningful baseball in June. I didn't. And I'm like every Giants fan right now. This is nice. This is unexpected. I mean, it's nice watching meaningful baseball in June. Considering I thought the Giants would be done by, I don't know, April 15th. But the Giants are one of the best records in baseball. They lost game 1 today to the Nationals. I didn't watch it because it came on at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I'm happy. Cautiously happy. This is gravy as far as I'm concerned. I thought they'd have 76 wins. Still might have 76 wins. But right now it's looking like they're going to be buyers at the trade deadline. That's my Giants thing. But the guy who's just turning heads right now is him, Jacob deGrom. And Jacob deGrom is he's taking the game back to 1968 when it was a pitcher's game. And I'll give you an example. In 1968, Bob Gibson won the ERA title and the Cy Young with a 1.12 ERA. And the guy who finished second was Juan Marichal, and he won 26 games. Here are the numbers that DeGrom is putting up. And he had to miss 2 starts for side tightness. 6-2, 0.56 ERA. That's freaking freakish, man. And baseball eventually is going to have to figure it out, because if it turns into a pitcher's game, and you're talking guys coming into the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning throwing nothing but gas at 100 miles an hour, baseball will adapt. I know some people say, nah, they're not going to lower the mound. Yeah, they will. They won't change the distance, but they will lower the mound. Except for Dodger Stadium, because those fuckers cheat. So, Mets are up in the National League East. Again, way too early. So to cover Major League Baseball, I'm very happy about the Giants, and Jacob deGrom is just a freak of nature. He is just, right now, he is lights out. I don't know how the hell he lost 2 games. But then again, if you look back to 1968, Bob Gibson lost 13 games, but I think it's 12 or 13. We lost a lot of games, but that's because he was losing 1-0. So, many of you watched this debacle. Some of you did. Last, I think it was Sunday night for you guys, Monday morning for me. Is this where boxing is now? Having gimmick fights? If you watched it, it's one of the Paul brothers. Logan? I don't know. One of those fucks. He was 5 inches taller than Mayweather, 60 pounds heavier. And there was a couple shots Mayweather. It was fixed. Of course it was. It was an exhibition. There were a couple times Mayweather, who made $20 million from this fight, could have put him out, but he didn't. But is this where we're at? Because the other one like that was this one. When Tyson fought Jones. Mike Tyson fought Roy Jones Jr. Great fights. If you're doing that fight 20 years ago. But now, is that where we're at with this? I don't know. I mean, you've got 15 different freaking boxing councils, and I'm exaggerating, but when? Which ones? I still love boxing. Man, I mean, you could get a great fight on Saturdays. Free. And it was a good fight. Not anymore. I don't know. Any questions, comments? Let me know, please. This is going on a little bit later on. Adesanya Vettori and Figueiredo and Moreno too. And I don't know enough about UFC. I watch it. I don't know enough about it. There are some guys that just freaking love UFC. And they can, my son does. He loves it. And he can quote this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. I don't know. I watch it more. But I wonder sometimes, and this has been brought up a couple times, again, you tell me, the novice here, when it comes to the UFC, if Ronda Rousey was to tell Dana White, hey, I'm going to come out of retirement. I'm going to fight Amanda Nunes. Dana White will put that up there as his headliner. Same with GSP. Anytime DC, Daniel Cormier, wants to come out, he's on. I mean, is it... Someone said it to me this way. The deputy chief here at the base says it's like a slave mentality with Dana White. Is it? I don't know enough about it. I know it's pretty much caught boxing in his beating boxing right now, because they do have fights every weekend, and they have some pretty good ones. You're entertained. If you want to watch somebody get their ass kicked, UFC has it. Because in 1 second they're boxing, sparring, grappling, and then you get a roundhouse kick out of nowhere that just floors a motherfucker. That's what they say in UFC. Kind of like a WWE on steroids, where these guys actually go at it. Because when the fight's over, they're talking shit. Uncensored. But I don't know. Because I've also heard from a few people that love watching it that there are some people that are stuck on the bottom that are better fighters, that they're not getting a shot. You let me know, because I don't know enough about it. Anyway. The wife says I should talk 10 minutes and then go off. I gave you guys 20. 20 minutes. Again, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy your day tomorrow. I'm going to go to a castle. Or a temple. Or a garden. Have some shitty food. Look, koi fish. Cash here. Later.